At the very end of the Japanese archipelago lies Yonaguni, shrouded in mist and mystery. The adults sing of their island's beauty, while the children are told legends of its past, stories about a mysterious castle underneath the sea. It's an image that has a special place in Okinawan legend. For centuries, stories about underwater cities have appeared in song and story, passed down from generation to generation.
だからおじいさんなんかが与那国島の周りはすごい深海だよっていう話よくなさってたんだ。それをああと思っていたんだけど、小学校に出て竜宮城の話が出たり浦島太郎の話が出たりすると、あ、与那国の近くに竜宮城あるのかなと思ったことがあったんですよ。
Such thoughts have long been dismissed as fantasy, but what if fiction was based on fact? Scientists are now investigating a remarkable but virtually unknown site near Yonaguni. Several metres beneath the surface lies one of the world's greatest mysteries, a place that could quite literally rewrite human history. No one can be entirely sure what's down there, but many experts are convinced it's the remains of a vast and ancient underwater city, a lost civilization, a Japanese Atlantis. Kihachiro Arataki made the discovery. He took me to see it. Arataki-san is a professional diver. He was looking for new dive sites when he made the find of a lifetime. In fact, the find of several thousand lifetimes, something no human had seen in millennia.
もちろんですね、それはね、もう大変なものを見たと。身の毛が色立つっていうんですか、もう鳥肌が立ってですね、なんで海底にこういったのがあるんだと、自分の目を疑うようなね、本当に驚きでしたね。
At first, Arataki-san kept his discoveries secret, but now, well aware of the potential for tourism, he's keen to show it off, even when the weather is rough and his guests' diving experience limited.
3, 2, 1, go!
The water is warm, the current strong. The entire site stretches for kilometres, but its centrepiece is 300 metres long. To reach the monument, as it's now known, you need to pass through an archway, a portal perhaps, to another world, another time. Giant slabs of stone stand at unusual angles, perfectly parallel. Here, what seems to be a drainage ditch, emptying into a small pool. And here, space like a room, carved into the recesses of the rock. Nearby are the terraces, massive stone steps, all perpendicular. My guide has been diving all over the world for nearly 40 years. He's never seen anything like it. He believes it could be a giant pyramid.
それがみんな向きがみんな南側なんですね。南を向いてるという特徴。それから切り口が直角であると。全体的に与那国の海底石は2度ぐらい南の方に傾斜しておりますがね。この傾斜角度が直角というのはまず見えないですね。それで向きがみんな南ということはね。
At the base, 25 metres below the surface, is a flat, clear space with stones piled on each side. Arataki-san thinks it was once a bustling boulevard encircling the site. Everywhere you look, there are bizarre shapes and unusual angles. Some claim this is a stylized turtle carved out of the rock.
Well, that is extraordinary. Absolutely enormous and almost overwhelming, and very beautiful as well. I suppose the very big question, though, that needs to be asked is it made by humans, or have the currents in some way carved all those extraordinary shapes? I don't know the answer, but there is a man here who says he does.
Masaaki Kimura is the world's leading authority on the underwater monument. He's a professor of marine geology and has dived these waters more than 100 times. The professor says scientific testing reveals the site is 10,000 years old. He's convinced the monument is the oldest building on Earth, twice as old as the pyramids.
まずですね、あれが自然か人工かと言われると、もうほとんど 100%、100% 近く自然ではできないと言えると思います。
Isn't it possible, though, in fact, isn't it probable, that these shapes occurred naturally? And that's certainly the view some overseas experts take.
それとプラス遺物ですね、石器とか動物のレリーフとかそういうものを回収することができまして、それから文字を彫ったような石板とかですね、から人間が直接いた証拠品も出てきましたので、我々の結論としてはあれは人工的なものであると考えております。
There are striking similarities between the underwater ruins and Okinawa's above-water ones, particularly the ancient castles. This is Shuri-jo, ancient heart of the Okinawan Empire. The shape, size and style, the combination of walls, arches and walkways are reminiscent of the monument, although there are key differences. The castle was built with millions of small rocks. The monument was carved out of several enormous ones.
Underwater monument is also cutting the natural monolithic rocks. It's very similar.
Parallels too with the region's traditional graves, which were often built beside the sea.
それから、ヨーロッパの考古学者、水中考古学の専門家たちが来て調べているんですが、そういう方たちはあそこは船がつく船着き場ではなかったかとか、こういう指摘等もあるんですが、全体を見てみるとですね、そうですね、神殿のようにも見える。
If that's true, it means this tiny, laid-back island, Japan's westernmost point, was once home to a sophisticated civilization that's since vanished from the face of the earth. It's possible the monument was thrust into the sea by a terrible natural disaster, but more likely, it suffered a much slower fate, the victim of rising sea levels as the Ice Age ended.
現在、地球上がその炭酸ガスの温室効果によってですね、その文明を持った人たちがその滅びてしまったという一つの例かもしれませんし、今度我々が現在の我々が将来どのような道をたどるのかといったことを示唆するものかもしれません。
Asia's Atlantis or nature's artwork, hewn by humans or carved by the currents, the monument remains an enigmatic mystery.
of the deep.
Service overnet, certainly the views these experts take.
それとプラスその異物